Sasquatch, Yahoo, Phantom of the Forest, you Spearfinger, Fire Dragon, Ohio Grassman, Silver Giant, Bloodless Howler, West Virginia Vampire, Coyote King, Hogzilla, Devil, Dark Coyote Killer. Cave creature, Mothman, Smoke Wolf, Lizard Demon, Ashman, Grafton Monster, Cow-killing Bastard, Shadow Creature, Dustman, Cherokee, Death Cat, Wild Man, Great Fire Rape. What else do I have to say? Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber. Catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet. Snallygaster, Rogue Team, Red Island Bear Beast, Silver Giant, Squalling Savage, Black Wolf was kind of average, Stone Giant, Raven Mocker, Midnight Whistler, Wampus Beast, Wawa Woman, Ohio Grassman again. Technically Huckleberry, Wolfman or Wolf County, need to find the X again if we hunt the Lightning Man. Webster's Werewolf, Daily Howl, Kentucky Hellhound, Little Girl, Headless Horror, I can't take it anymore. Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber. Catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet.
Well, this here's BIGFEETS, the only Mountain Monsters Watch-Along podcast. I'm Robert Brockway. I'm still a little bit high on dog medication. I'm ready to talk about Bigfoot.
And I'm Sean Baby from the internet. He appeared rather sleepy, but this was one sleepy bear you didn't want to anger. He possessed confidence, inner determination, a hell of a lot of money, and the position of the director of an agency associated with power, both licit and illicit. He stared at the two urinals. Now who the hell could use this thing, he growled.
And I am award-winning author Jason Pargin.
His only weakness? He didn't know how to pee. Most powerful man in the world? He'd never taken a piss in his life. Oh, what a fantastic book. So by this point it'll be out, but we and if you're listening to this at home, you will probably already heard it. But for the year-end thing, we did a best of BIGFEETS where we collected some clips we've taken from the show, but we also collected every one of Sean Baby's Duke's introductions and just put them all together into the Duke's and us talking about it and put them all together into like a little mini Duke's cast.
That had to have been like 90 minutes long.
Yeah, it was extreme. It was like all of the clips of us, like all the best things we've said on the show in the past year, 20 minutes. Sean Baby's Duke's cast, like just an hour and a half. So we're gonna see. We're beta testing. That's episode 0 of the Duke's cast.
I can't wait for Duke's cast.
But for now, let's get some plugs in. Jason, where can people find more from you?
By the time this episode goes up, my new book may be up for pre-order already, but buy Brockway's book instead. It is far more important to buy a book that's actually out. What's the date that your book's actually out, Robert?
January 27th, 2026.
Yeah, so this will be going up in 2026, right? So we'll be right there on it. Yeah, it's far more important to buy a book at its release window than to pre-order one freaking 11 months before it comes out. So, but also I've seen the manuscript to John Dies at the End, book 5. It's garbage. It's because the last 2 years I really got into trading crypto. 75% of the book is just that. It's just characters talking about their crypto trades, and now John's become financially independent because he put all this money into Ethereum and how it's the currency of the future. I wouldn't bother with it.
Lots of NFT talk.
Yeah, it's so outdated. Yeah,
they're coming back.
Sean, what do you want to plug?
I'll plug 1-900hotdog.com. It's the last comedy website. We do one free article every week. And if you subscribe on our Patreon, patreon.com/1900hotdog, then you get one every day. And it's got an all-star cast of comedy writers. It's like the good old days of the internet. We're still making it work and it rules.
Great plug.
What'd you think of that plug, Jason?
Well, in the last episode, you failed to mention the Patreon whatsoever. I didn't say a word.
Oh,
I
good.
could tell you wanted to, though.
Well, you've grown and Sean hasn't, then. Okay, for my plug, well, Jason already plugged my book, so the gentlemanly thing to do would be to plug his. So I'm going to plug my new book, I Will Kill Your Imaginary Friend, for $200. It comes out January 27th, 2026. Use code Robert15 at bookshop.org for 15% off and an exclusive short story. And if you don't, I'm going to prison, and I am going to prison. We don't have freedom numbers. We don't got walking around numbers. We're not posting those numbers that keep me out of jail. That seems clear to me now as we approach the deadline where I go to prison. So now it's about what amenities I can get, and the first on the list. Well, the first on the list is a hot plate. That's all I want. I want a hot plate. We've moved the goalposts from my freedom as a human being to a warm plate. So I would like my warm plate, and if we don't sell enough copies to earn me that hot plate in prison, I'm taking everything down. I'm taking down Jason, taking down Sean, I'm taking down the site, literally taking down the site. Like, I just will not be there the day I go to prison, unless you buy my book and help me get warm food twice a week. That's where we're at. That's what I'm looking forward to. So buy my book and save all of this.
And let's
from me.
Make something clear here. If everyone who regularly listens to this podcast bought a copy of Robert's book, it would be on the New York Times bestseller list that first week, at the very least. I am dead serious about that. If he does not make the list, he's going to know that some of you held out, and he's not going to forgive you for that. Like, he's not somebody to let go of grudges.
And here's the really shitty thing about that is that, like, this podcast is in many ways more popular than, like, even the site. What this podcast does more than our other podcasts, to the extent that I don't know all the names of the people that listen to this podcast regularly. Tons of people that never visit the site listen to this podcast. So I will only have the names and addresses. Patreon asks for your address and credit card numbers. I will only have the names, addresses, and credit card numbers of the people who have financially supported us, and I will be taking it out on you. I can't get to them. I can't get to all the people who don't financially support us, but that are not buying my book.
So Brockway can hunt you.
And it will not save you. Give generously, but it won't save you. It won't save you if I'm going down. So
Quite the opposite.
Yeah, you're the only ones that will go down. And you will. I will take you down. I won't be happy about it, but I have to hurt who I can while I can, because I'm not going to have the chance to hurt anybody anymore. I gotta get it in. I gotta get it in.
And this is not the dog medicine talking.
This is absolutely the dog
coming for you.
This is the dog medicine talking 100%, if we're being real. The real plug was like 2 sentences. It was a while ago. That all the rambling threats, pure dog medicine talk. But let me tell you,
I don't know if you know this, but every 5th word you just say wet food. Yeah. I don't even know if you know you're doing it.
I want my wet food. I want more of my wet food in proportion to my dry food. That's what I want. I like the wet food better. I don't know what people don't understand about that. Let me tell you, I'm going to be on dog medication from here until I go to prison. That's my plan. So get used to the new Brockway. This is him. Until that day, we are a Mountain Monsters Watch Along podcast. We're not doing seasons and episodes anymore. The show barely exists in this limbo state of streaming. So the episode we're watching is called The Secret of the Red Shed. You're just going to have to look that up.
And you know what?
You find it.
I'm not even sure this is the only episode called that. It seems implausible, to be frank.
You're right. And it's not going to matter. What? You're going to get the story wrong? Nobody gives a shit. They don't give a shit. There's no proper order to watch this.
I wouldn't mind getting the Red Shed story wrong of the child bride who grabbed Buck.
Yes. Just as a teaser, I don't watch the new show that they're doing on YouTube. After Mountain Monsters ended, they moved on to YouTube and are starting to do a new show called Sons of Appalachia. Go support it. You can go watch it. We're all keeping pure for when our podcast inevitably
we don't want to spoil ourselves.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil. I want to know the creative journey as they intended it. But I do see the title and like the descriptions because I go and download the episodes because I am sure that that show is going to disappear off the face of the earth by the time we get to it. They're going to have some sort of YouTube drama, delete their channel. It's gone. Let me tell you, the Red Shed's back. Red Shed's back in Sons of Appalachia.
Jesus Christ. So it's definitely like in Buck's backyard.
It's definitely somewhere.
It's got to
they
be
can
on the
get
property
to.
of somebody they know at the very, very least. Like it's just clearly, it's somebody's whack shack. But
It's like the next most major character in this show after like the main team, Red Shed.
So to put this all in context, we are now, as of this, we're going to be in the final 20 episodes of Mountain Monsters in its original incarnation. So, because this is the penultimate episode of this season, so you'll be able to tell because things are really ratcheting up. And there's 2 more seasons. One had 8 episodes, one had 10. So we're in the final 20. But yeah, as you said, I looked just now. They've already uploaded 50 videos to the Sons of Appalachia YouTube channel. So, now granted, most of them are them just eating exotic snacks and trying
being racist.
various hot sauces. And then they'll do live streams where it takes them a really long time to figure out the camera is on. And so you just see them sitting there looking like the most miserable people on earth. It's like, ugh. What? It's
I
going
hate
now?
affecting this American accents.
So that apparently means at the rate they're producing stuff, because obviously we're going to have to do an episode of BIGFEETS for every single one of those videos. So we're going to be doing this the rest of our lives at least.
Jason keeps saying that, but I will go on record as saying I am only personally archiving and saving the main episodes that they're doing and not all of the little supplementary YouTube things. And I have full faith that channel will not exist and nobody else on Earth will have saved any of those videos. So I don't think we will end up covering. If it's there, we'll have this conversation. But
also, don't forget about the completely different show that Jeff and Willie started months ago. How many episodes are they on now? On that entirely new TV network they found? How many? They've got to be
on the Jeff and Willie split off and started their own show. They had one episode on a new TV network that we later found out was a Nazi self-publishing scam.
Mm-hmm. And then they emailed everyone on their client list, CCing each other. So I think it was Jamie who said that she got a list of the 31 other people who subscribed to that channel and their names and emails.
Who have seen that episode. There are 31 other people who have only potentially seen that episode. Can't even prove they watched it.
So
they do say they have another show coming. I don't know the news on that. Maybe there will be another one.
At the risk of sounding like I'm stalking Jeff, because again, he has a public Facebook page. This is not like his public Facebook fan page and his personal account are the same thing. So it's got the stuff about his Mountain Monsters projects right alongside, hey, I've got a load of gravel here if anybody needs it. And so when I went on there in December of 2025, he was selling a bunch of stuff from, I guess, around the house, a lot of motorcycle parts, stuff like that, maybe just for Christmas, or maybe he's in a state of financial desperation. I don't know. But then we noticed he was selling a truckload of firewood.
This might be the most excited I've ever seen you in text.
And it really, 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 because the firewood was not the firewood you're picturing. It was not a bunch of logs that have been split into triangles. Anybody split firewood, it fit into, these were long, rustic planks, rough-hewn planks that were done in the style.
Planks, huh? That sounds familiar.
They looked like they'd been fashioned into traps several times.
He's selling the Pargin planks for firewood. He has no respect for the history of cinema. He's not even saying these are the planks we used for every trap in Mountain Monsters. The famous planks that you know and love. He's not saying anything. He's just like, firewood, $300, come get it.
You know what this means? It means he probably doesn't even listen to our show. He doesn't even know we talk about those planks all the time. Or he
He
would
has
have
no
contacted
idea.
us directly and say, I'll sell you these planks for $58,000. And
You know what?
"Oh,
We would have bought it.
fuck yeah.
We got, since the collapse of that Nazi self-publishing network and the leak of all of their subscribers, which again were like 30 people, we now know for a fact that the planks have more fans and followers than Jeff did. More beloved. The planks are more beloved. There's more than 30 people
100%.
listening to this right now saying, the
100%.
planks? Are you kidding me? Like sitting upright going, he's got to burn the planks?
Brockway posted it to the Discord, and people are like, the planks? They're going to burn the planks.
Like, I can prove. I think more than 30 people probably responded to that in the Discord alone. Between the Discord and Slack, certainly.
Think of the feelings you get when Jeff comes on screen versus the feelings you get when we see the planks again. It's no question it's
No
a better
question.
character.
I would subscribe to the Planks Nazi self-publishing scam network.
I would separate that art from the artist 100%.
Yeah.
Now, here's where we try to recap the storyline that has gotten us to here. I have a thing in my work, not to sound pretentious using a phrase like my work, where I like people to be able to come in on any one thing that I've done. Like any book, any individual book, if you come in there, it's like you can enjoy that as a book. My books don't end on cliffhangers. They don't pick up from cliffhangers. It's a contained thing. My videos, same thing. I don't do multiple parts. Everything you click on that's mine, in theory, if it's the first thing you've ever seen in your life, I like to think that's a good entry point because of the way people consume media. Like, if somebody gets into my books, odds are they're going to run into book 4 of John Dice Dent at a garage sale. I want them to grab that, read it, and say, I want to see the rest of this guy's stuff. This podcast, trying to reorient every listener to say, look, maybe you fell off listening to Big Feats a little while ago and you decided to pop in an episode. It's kind of important to me that you at least have some idea of what we're riffing on and what's happening. Because I know most listeners to this show do not watch the show Mountain Monsters. I am totally at a loss as to how to reorient people. This is legitimately harder to recap than the Dark Forest arc. Because I do not know what's going on. I don't get it. I don't understand what they were trying to do in that last episode. Everything about this, I'm lost. I feel like I've failed our listeners.
Well, so listen, we all have pretty equal co-hosting duties on this show. Like everybody's notes, we've compared notes before. Everybody's notes are kind of the same. I do consider myself the main host in that I have to take the day-to-day notes that, like, I try to make sure I have the notes that are like, maybe I don't have a joke for this. Maybe it's not particularly funny to me, but you need to know that this guy moved from here to there. So like that's stuff that I take upon myself to do. So that certainly that recapping, that does fall to me. I feel like that's my responsibility. So I do have some whether it's right or not, whether you agree with it or not, but I do have some handle on it. So I'll take us through. Previously on Mountain Monsters, Huckleberry took a shower for Bigfoot. You're all caught up. That was it. That's all that happened last time.
That matches up with what I have. Yeah.
Let's go. I'm being unfair. They found a rock. You're all caught up.
Yeah.
You're all caught up.
But the rock was not the goal. The rock is just the directions to the thing 6 feet from
incidental, and now they need to take 6 steps to the west. So Buck says, I think we're on to something. I think we need to take 6 steps to the west.
That was my quote of the episode. 100%.
Sorry.
I think we're onto something is the funniest goddamn thing to say when they find a rock with the letter F and it says take 6 steps to the west from the rock with the letter F. And he says, I think we're onto something.
But okay,
It is
you see what
faster
you see
to
I'm
take
saying?
6 steps to the west.
For a new audience member, what are we even talking about? A rock with an F and six steps doesn't that mean they're already standing on it? What do you mean? You mean 60? Like 60 paces? No, it's 6. they were following a Bigfoot treasure hunt that the Bigfoot lured them there, but the Bigfoot didn't want them. Did the Bigfoot want them to be there, or was he did not want them to be there?
He wants them to shower.
Yeah.
But who was the...
It's unrelated to the F, I think.
I think my personal theory, I think that the Hillbilly Puzzle Master put the F there and then told them to take 6 steps because that's such a junior level Denny's placemat puzzle that he thought maybe they could solve it. He was wrong, of course. It took them several episodes. It took 2 episodes. They had an episode
F
break.
for fun, by the way.
So Buck has now says he's now got it. Like he says, we've seen a rock with an F. We know we have to take 6 steps to the west. Willie, go ahead and take those steps. He outsources the job of taking 6 steps to Willie. And Willie, to his undying credit, Willie hikes up his pants, all darling, like a Victorian lady crossing a mud puddle, and he starts to take a step. 1, he says, and then Bigfoot screams. There's a Bigfoot scream, and they all swivel, only it's not a Bigfoot standing there. It is a black-cloaked figure sitting on Bigfoot's pervert rock. The one he used to watch Huckleberry shower. Now we're full circle.
Okay, but if for somebody coming in on this episode's their first ever episode of Big Feets, and you refer to Bigfoot's pervert rock, now it's true, that's the only way to describe it. You didn't do a poor job of describing it, but for example, I feel like it's very important to note. They're here because years ago, a hillbilly cryptid jigsaw puzzle master showed them a film with this cave and this rock and told them, okay, from the F in the rock, go 6 steps to the west. He told them that with the assumption that finding the F was the easy part. Like, that's not the puzzle. He's saying from the F, the F you'll find there when you get under the rock, go 6 steps to the west, you'll find your thing. They spent an entire episode trying to find the F because it was covered in leaves. To find the F that was covered in leaves, Huckleberry decided that the logical way to do that was to recreate what he had done the last time he was there. And the thing he had done the last time he was there was shower nude for Bigfoot. So he did that again. Then, unrelated to that, they said, oh, wait a second. I don't think there were leaves over there before, were they? Scrape those aside. Oh, there's an F there. Puzzle solved. So now they're saying we got to take 6 steps to the west. I'm going to spoil it right now, listeners. They're not going to make those 6 steps until the end of this episode. That's how long it's going to take them to move. Because some of these guys are not 6 steps away. They're all standing in the vicinity. Some of those guys are standing on the spot they're talking about. All right, I apologize. We just got to move forward. I
like to
Very
think.
important.
I like to think instead of explaining it to a listener, you should picture this as like explaining all of this to Trapper as he lay dying on his deathbed, so that he can see what they're doing with his legacy. So Huckleberry, he's showering for the Bigfoot, right? And Bigfoot's sitting on his rock, he's jerking off, and then we find an F, and it's 6 steps to the west, and Willie starts to take those 6 steps, but then we get distracted. He's just
and leave.
And what'd you call that episode? The Return of Me?
It's in honor of you. No, I'm actually going to get up now. I have found the will to defeat this disease.
Don't worry, Trapper, you're still in the credits. And in fact, we're going to leave you in the credits for the rest of the time the show was on, even after you're gone.
All for you, buddy. All for you.
We want people to associate your name with everything we do from here on out.
I want to talk about what happens next. Obviously, the druid on the pervert rock throws a torch at them. They have their guns pointed at them, and they let a fucking goddamn wizard throw it. I don't know the hillbilly rules of engagement, but if you throw a torch at me and I'm holding a gun, you have made a terrible mistake. That is precisely why I brought the gun to the druid hunt, to shoot goddamn fucking druids. And I'm saying, if this is not the time to take your gun and shoot the gun when a fucking person is throwing a flaming torch at you, why did you fucking bring the gun? Like, when you didn't shoot at the swarm of pterodactyls, I'm like, oh, maybe you're a little freaked out. But that is just the same coyote wizard you've been chasing for 30 days.
Pterodactyls
At the
might
cost
be in
of
danger.
all other hunts.
Might be illegal.
Right.
You can shoot a druid.
There's a ton of coyote wizards.
There's no druid protection.
Open fire.
Okay, Sean, I distinctly remember the pterodactyl episode. You were not forgiving of the fact that they did not get a shot off on the pterodactyls. You called them
That's how
cowards over and over again. You were extremely
I'm saying I'm
angry.
so furious about this. I'm willing to forgive that. That thing I was already so pissed off about.
So they do turn. They turn and they see on the pervert rock another or the same. It's not made clear yet. Druid. We gotta assume. I assume the coyote wizard can teleport, so it might be the coyote wizard. They seem to instantly assume, no, this is a different wizard. This is the torch throwing wizard, and he does throw a torch down there. It's kind of a cool moment. They do. I noticed they do a jump cut. And the torch doesn't actually land visibly anywhere near the Ames team. There's nobody in frame to ground it. So, like, I don't think they
TV
actually...
magic.
Yeah, I don't think they actually did that. But when they look back up, he's gone. He's disappeared. They're like, oh my God, he's gone.
Yeah, not because they shot him
immediately-
and he turned into an Obi-Wan Kenobi corpse. He just leaves with...
He disappears because they were
Threw
all
a
too
torch and
distracted
left.
by the torch. You know, like Batman. Like how Batman throws a road flare at your face and says, think
Yes.
fast. And then when you look back, he's gone. Like, how does he do
Gordon's
that?
"God,
How does he do
gets
that
me every
trick?
time with that.
So they turn around. They turn around after he disappears, and they go like, we got to get Huckleberry back to the fire. He's freezing from having too many Bigfoot erotic showers. And then they go, oh no, the wizard's back. He just moved a few feet. He never disappeared. He just walked away and like walked around to on top of the rock overhang. and they have toddler object impermanence where they're like, oh, I thought he disappeared using his teleporting powers. He was simply leaving my field of vision for a brief amount of time.
You're skipping over how Buck, as soon as the torch lands, Buck says, we got to make a decision here, boys. Because he's already like, well, that's a thing. Let's go home. It's a thing happened. Time to leave.
It's funny how you can feel him wanting to go home every time something happens. Like he'll just start going, looks like there's only one course of action. And people have started pushing back on that. Like in the improv, like last episode, Huckleberry, he tried to do that when they got to the hillbilly shower. He's like, all right, we got to get the fuck out of there. And Huckleberry's like, no, I'm sorry. We got to look for something.
Yeah, we
gotta
got to do
do something.
anything.
All right, you know what? I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to take a hillbilly shower. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, no, but Buck does hatch a plan here. It's to send Wild Bill and Willie up towards the wizard, but stay at a distance. Do not let him see you. But this is interesting because he can already see them. So moving closer should make them, you would think it would make them easier to see. But no.
Uh-huh.
No.
And
The
real
man
quick,
looking at you, just move a little closer to him.
what do they bring on this stealth mission? That's right. They bring their headlamps still on,
Right.
and a
Yep.
full camera crew
camera
with
crew,
lights.
And a boom mic.
yeah, that sounds
remember,
right.
remember they also have an audio guy holding a pole over their heads. They've established
full
that
camera
'cause
crew.
that guy got kidnapped earlier.
There's like 8 people following him, fully lit up at night in the woods, and they're like, "We're on a stealth mission." You have the little exclamation point is just going off above his head nonstop. What? What?
Then Jeff says we got to get Hook out of here. I can't get him any warmer, which is that was funny to me.
Definitely don't have time to take those 5 steps, or at this point 3
Right.
steps, whatever, over to find the thing. That's
forget that.
ridiculous. We got to evacuate. Huck is really cold.
They made it 15% into that journey. I think that's close enough.
One
so
step. Willie took one
half
step.
half the team is going to leave. Half the team is going to drop everything to pointlessly chase druids, which are the only 2 moves the Ames team has made in probably 15 episodes.
So they only got 5 steps left. You can just you don't have to take them. You can just look. Like, you can see where
it's
the
right
end of
over
those
there.
5 steps would be. Like I could see into my
Probably
bedroom.
a sound guy standing on it. Probably have to ask one of your crew to step aside so you can see the thing, the treasure, the Bigfoot pirate treasure that's buried there or whatever.
But no, Huckleberry's too cold, so they got to get back to Buck's truck. Meanwhile, Willie and Wild Bill have to follow the new wizard. They have to follow the new wizard, and where does the new wizard go? Straight into the corn, baby. We're going into that corn. Kill your drink. We got corn. So they get within, they follow him, they get within, I want to say 20 feet of him, and they do finally decide, okay, yes, we have to turn off our lights now. And so they do. They turn off their camera lights. And Willie says, well, I don't know if he spotted us or not, which is a very funny thing to say when you're 20 feet away from a scarecrow in a cornfield and you just turned off all of your lights. Yeah, he spotted you. You failed that one.
Meanwhile, I'm sorry, we're probably getting ready to say the same thing, but Huckleberry says he's getting so cold that he's, quote, locking up. He's freezing into a solid popsicle, and Buck says, I'm going to have to carry him out of here.
No. Hold on.
Emptiest of threats.
No. Buck says, okay, Buck's says
kneecaps would shoot to the next county. His kneecaps would shoot past the mind control range of Bigfoot if he tried to do that.
Hold on, it's important to get the quote right. Buck says, Jeff, we're going to have to carry him out of here, to which Jeff instantly says, no, we're not.
Are you fucking out of your mind?
That's it. No, we're not.
Jeff's
He's
like,
fine.
I had to leave half my pocket hand behind, dude.
You had to get Willie to take the 6 steps for you. You learned you had to take 6 steps, and you volunteered Willie. You're not picking up the guy that's 3/4, the guy that you use to measure Bigfoot. You're gonna carry him out of here. No.
No, Jeff instead says his clothes are wet. We got to get him off of him, which is not an empty threat. I knew that they were going to do that.
We did, but again, what you said in the last episode was correct. That he's going to get nude at some point. It's like somebody should have said, well, wait a second. Why didn't we just have him take off his clothes when he was showering for Bigfoot while Bigfoot watched from the Cuckstone? Again, listeners, if you did not hear the previous episode, that's the best I can explain it. I don't know what else to say.
That's what the whole episode was about.
It was Huckleberry and 2 other nude people were forced to shower under Bigfoot mind control. Bigfoot, this is the same Bigfoot that has a Native American child bride he's married to and who did not survive the wedding night, and so she's now a ghost. That's that same Bigfoot. He canonically, in this universe, made Huckleberry and 2 strangers shower nude while chanting the name of his mother, while Bigfoot watched from a Cuckstone. What was I talking about?
I just...
Sometimes.
Oh yeah. Why in the recreation? Why didn't Huckleberry get nude then? Because his clothes got soaked, which is dangerous already. And they get him back to the trucks. Like, well, we got to get these wet clothes off of him. It's like, yeah. Then you should have. If he's gonna be nude anyway, then have him shower nude and then put dry clothes on the way people do it. It's almost like they don't know how a shower works.
Well, hold on. If there's one thing I know about Huckleberry, and it may only be one thing, it's that he knows how to work an erotic Bigfoot shower.
That's true. He can recognize it by sound alone. He's like, ooh, those drips are the sound of a particular erotic Bigfoot shower. Which, again, from the previous episode, important lore.
Sometimes it just hits me when we have to start, it's like, the day-to-day of my job, of this part of my job, is like you get kind of used to it, but then you have to say sentences like, then he and 2 other people showered for the psychic Bigfoot. What the fuck are any of us doing? What kind of words do we have to say?
Because we're part of the problem is the thing. Whatever problem this show represents in society, we're not making it better because we're making fun of it. This isn't fixing anything.
I'll pause right now to say, go watch Sons of Appalachia, so that they have to do this for the rest of their lives.
As a punishment, yeah.
It's the worst hell I can think of, but make them do it.
Once they get Huckleberry fully nude in the truck and he's sitting there shivering, Jeff says to Buck, I think out of character, he's on blood thinners. Which I don't think he made that up. I don't think that's Bigfoot
that's some
lore.
real shit.
I think that's Jeff saying, he could really die.
Yeah, wait a minute. Hold on. This could be an actual, like, on Huckleberry's good days, on the best day of Huckleberry's life, I would look at him and immediately think this man needs to get to the hospital. Like, that's if he's on the beach for his wife's birthday, I would assume I need to take him to some kind of help immediately. And so you've given him pneumonia. Like, this is almost step by step how to give a person pneumonia. And then at the end, when you're piling him nude into a truck to warm up, Jeff busts out with, I think he's on blood thinners, so he actually gets colder than anybody else. What the fuck? You're gonna die for this.
I feel like the first part of that sentence is real, like he is on blood thinners, and the second part is theater. Like, he gets colder than anybody else.
I do think blood thinners do that, though. Like,
Maybe.
I think that they make you much more susceptible to cold and pneumonia and stuff. Which,
because isn't that same as like having an iron deficiency? Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but the same way people like anemia get cold. It's either way, it doesn't matter. That's one of several health problems that should have prohibited this activity.
just putting his whole ass life on the line for an erotic Bigfoot stunt, like a fucking champion, like an absolute champion, Huckleberry.
In lore, Buck is going to say, we got to get him to the hospital because, Huckleberry's going to do the thing where he refuses to go. But man, would love to have explained on the intake form what he's being brought in for.
And can you guys test for like Bigfoot psychic poisoning? Because I think, now that I think about it, I think maybe the erotic shower he took was the Bigfoot psychic poisoning and not,
Because they can't lie to the nurses because it's going to be on TV in a few months. They're going to know. Wait a second. That guy didn't jump in a lake to save a drowning child. He showered for a Bigfoot.
He erotically showered for a Bigfoot. I wouldn't have treated him.
I took an oath.
And that was specifically against it. I will. But, all right, so back with Willie and Wild Bill, they have managed to lose the slowly walking man with a lit torch in a dark cornfield. Incredible. Totally failed the stealth mission.
Well, he teleports behind them, and then Wild Bill says,
they say,
how'd he get over there?
They say he teleports behind them. The light appears behind them, and they turn around and they say, oh my God, how'd he get over there? Like it's magic. But no, put a point down, you got lost in the cornfield.
Yeah, no, that's another plausible explanation. But he also is a teleporting coyote wizard. Like, that's his powers.
Do you think this is the coyote wizard is the thing?
Well, yeah, I guess Trapper did add to the lore that everything, whether it has a cloak or not, is a thing with a cloak. A creature with a cloak.
Is a thing with a cloak. Do they all teleport?
So a man in a cloak means nothing anymore. By that,
because definition. So they saw that first one in the golf cart, and he just moved real smooth. He had smooth powers. He moved like Michael Jackson.
And there's the Scarecrow. Was the Scarecrow one of these, or is that something different?
I think the Scarecrow is the teleporting one, maybe.
But we saw him scamper away. No, he scampered away.
Scarecrow is a different thing. Teleporting coyote wizard, I think he's the one that teleports. He goes through the doors and he teleports. And my assumption, which I am not confident at all, is maybe they're saying this is a new wizard. Because they're saying these are skinwalkers, and so
torch throw is a new ability. Yeah.
So the Coyote King was there. There was also, I think maybe the Scarecrow was the Cherokee Deathcat skinwalker. And then so this is a new one. This is like a new wizard.
We know that they haven't just forgotten what they improvised in the previous episode because they have a writer now. Like they've got a show Bible now that's got all that stuff in there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. We gotta give them credit.
They have a wizard supervisor.
So they follow the wizard back out of the cornfield. He's heading out into the woods. When back at the truck, they say Huckleberry's body temperature has become an emergency, and they have to call off the whole search mission. They get Willie and Wild Bill back there. They've tried everything to warm Huckleberry up except for closing the truck door. They are leaving him just fully open now that he's naked and wet to the night to get the shot. But Huckleberry says, "It's all right, Buck. I found a way to warm myself up." And Buck says, "What's that?" Huckleberry says, "I'll piss myself." They all laugh, but you know Jeff is fucking furious back there.
Yeah.
Like what bit? What bit of mine won't they steal? First the research, then the witch possession, now the piss? Even the piss?
When's the last time he's researched anything?
Yeah.
All
seriously.
I've got is piss, and you're going to take it? You're going to take piss.
Wild Bill is going to roll up with a pocket full of ham, and Jeff is just going to vanish before our eyes.
Like Back to the Future, just gone. Okay, so finally it does occur to Buck now that they've completed the pissing himself bit. They close the doors to let Huckleberry warm up. Willie and Wild Bill have followed the Coyote Wizard back to your old favorite, the old classic, the Red Shed, the Hillbilly Jack Shack they found in the woods.
I wrote down this dialogue. They radio Buck, and they say, he's right in front of that little red shed. And then Buck says, "The red shed? Are you talking about the red shed?" And then Willie says, "Yeah, right in front of that little red shed." And then Buck says, "Don't get too close. Don't let him see you." He has been straight up looking into the camera the whole fucking time while two idiots trample behind him 20 feet away with their headlamps on.
Yeah, they turn their lamps back on.
Yeah. But they turn the
Pretty
radio
solid.
off. So it's quieter.
So they got the Jack Shack back. The Jack Shack back is back, baby. And jackier than ever. I don't know why we're doing we're doing this.
Red Shed 2, jackier than ever. Yeah.
Hey, that we're saying too, they've been back to it.
You're right. It's way more than
How many times have they been back to the? I should have researched this before. I failed the audience because I feel like they've been back here 8 times, and I know some of it is just me having to watch the episodes repeatedly.
I think realistically just the once. I think that so. This is the second time.
Okay, but that was a
I think
two-part
that's the third
episode.
time,
That was a
not counting
two-part
flashbacks.
episode, and there were 2 separate incidents where because Buck got possessed, and then he's done a thing where he was like rocking back and forth. Then they came back and found a message written on the back of it. Because remember, they came in and said, "It's gone." And they realized that they just like leaned some weeds up against it. And it was camouflage.
that was the time I consider them coming back. Was when they come back weeks later and there were weeds. They're like, "No,
Yeah.
these weeds should have taken months to grow. Only they just stuck them in the ground."
It feels like they've been in the Cherokee Devil business for a long, long time to me.
Yeah.
It feels like the little Cherokee child bride has come up a lot.
Okay, for sure, Buck
lot.
has brought up the Cherokee Child Bride way more than they've been back to the Red. Sometimes he just talks about her, and they're just like, okay,
even in their fiction, she's like 22 now, right? Like
Now, wait
if
a
she
second.
was
no,
whatever
she's
in the
dead.
first
She'll
time they
never
met her.
age longer than her wedding
Yeah.
night, which was when
Okay.
she was a child.
Okay, stop. Hold on. When the rogue team was sending them on their goose chase and making them go find files and stuff and those cards with the squatch body on the cards that spelled out squatch body, didn't they send them to the red shed to get some clues? And didn't they have like
That's
all
what
the
I'm saying.
file
There was the
folders
third
stuck to
trip.
the wall? Because I remember Buck stopping outside of it and saying, "I remember this very spot. I remember this is where I saw her up there, standing up." And it cut to the when they had the little girl standing in there. And so, yeah, they've been
got
back here.
They got our LinkedIn passwords.
So the wizard, whether or not he's the Coyote Wizard or not, we don't know yet. He does hear Willie and Wild Bill back there, probably because they hopped on the radio before turning it off. And he just takes off. His jack session has been ruined. He's not going to use the shack. So they run up to like investigate it. And on the run up, Wild Bill does take a quick pratfall that I don't think was intentional because Willie looks back at him and says, "Are you all right?" And Wild Bill says, Which is really funny if that was his punchline, because that's all he says.
Well, there's going to be a key plot point here, which is their radios are going to go out.
Yes.
And that's such a disaster because Willie has no other ability to contact Buck, and the team's going to lose contact with Buck. Buck, without that radio, no other way for these people to communicate with each other. As it's been established in this universe, it's radio or nothing.
Radio or nothing.
Now, you're right in that they do still all have phones, and we have established specifically that phones do work in this area before. But the radios don't go out for a mystical reason. Willie just turned it off and forgets to turn it back on.
Forgot to turn it back on after the
so
guy left.
They're going to act like they're out of contact with Buck, but at any point he could just turn it back on. And he doesn't.
Buck says something really funny here where he's waddling towards the red shed, and he says, man, these pine needles make it really dense. The fuck does that mean? Is he trying to say it's rough terrain because of pine needles?
Yep, because of the soft pine needle bed beneath my feet.
And then they do, the editor's having a lot of fun, and again, kind of a mean-spirited move. Like, they do a Cherokee Devil, like, flash cut. So it's like, blink, 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 with his, like, red eyes. And then he hears a tree knock. And Buck goes, "Ugh!" And they do, like, a little double take of his dainty freak-out. Like, it's a dick move by the editor. It's not like there's something hidden in the background. It's just like, look at this fruity little thing Buck just did. Fucking look at it again.
There is no dignity in the way
so mean
he responds. Like, especially in his fiction, he's casting himself as the lead character of this show and, like, super tough guy. He's the new trapper. So, and yet every time there's a noise, his reaction is to go, whoa, and, like, make a weird noise and do something very strange with his hands with no dignity whatsoever. Like, he's not trying to do the tough guy move.
He's supposed to be
a guy. He's not pointing his shotgun at it.
He's supposed to be a guy who has literally encountered dozens of Sasquatch. Dozens. He's seen more Sasquatches than I've seen squirrels in my life. So he'll give these big speeches making himself sound like a badass, like, I ain't never been scared of nothing. It's like, though you're scared of everything. I'm not a woods guy. I live in the city. I don't react like that every time I hear a branch snap. He just does a full, like, spin around because I guess he's trying to sell the fear of the moment, but he overacts it so hard that he almost falls down every time there's the slightest of noises.
It is very, like, Mr. Bean pratfall comedy.
Yes.
And he does not mean to be doing it. So Buck is heading down towards the red shed, and then he stops abruptly all of a sudden, and he says the forest has gone quiet, and he says, I think I know where I'm at. Right there. Right there is where I saw the Cherokee Devil. He grabbed me on my arm. Oh, shit. It's been a while, but take a drink. We got a Bigfoot grabbed me.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I missed him. I missed a simple Bigfoot grabbed me.
left bruises on his arm, as would happen if a Bigfoot grabbed you. You'd get some bruises, some finger-shaped bruises.
So Buck, in a supreme moment of physical acting, then takes the radio, which doesn't work, and goes to, like, tuck it. And I guess this is what it's supposed to be. He goes to tuck it in his back pocket, but then drops it. It just drops it on the ground. It just looks like he was going to try to catch it behind his back, and then it fucked up, and he was just like, nope, abort. Walking away from that. It's sold really weird and really weird and really bad. But he continues heading toward...
The editor is trying to humiliate him.
Yeah, they do a slow motion so that you can see.
Yep.
He continues heading toward the red shed while Willie and Wild Bill, they do make it back to the truck with Jeff and Huckleberry. So we're doing Buck, main character again, and just like if you leave Huckleberry alone unsupervised for any amount of time, he will start fighting the Predator from the hit film Predator. If you leave Buck alone for any amount of time, he starts playing little girl. I hope from the hit film The Ring.
Yeah,
otherwise
that's what it is. Sure.
Yeah, I don't want to know what the movie is if it's not the little girl from the Ring. Like, let's just not talk about that anymore. But that's what he's doing.
I think Buck puts it best when he says, how many terrifying memories have I had here? One that sticks out.
The one that sticks out, the Cherokee bride. Yeah, we know.
Yeah,
We
it's
know.
the child bride.
Man.
Yeah.
But they so
The time he got
what-
mind controlled by the Bigfoot and met his wife.
they back at the truck, they realize that they try to raise Buck and they get nothing. And Willie says it like this. He says, "Nobody should be alone in these woods, especially near that red shed." As though the implication is like, oh, the Cherokee Devil, he's too dangerous. But then the whole team just scrambles out of there. Like they're trying to, like they know, they're on a clock. It's a ticking clock now to stop Buck from inventing something about the child bride, the ghostly child bride of Bigfoot who died on their wedding night for reasons it's illegal for me to say.
Yeah, because they're cutting back to Buck, like getting closer. It's like a ticking clock. It's like, yeah, in fact, I was right coming up this trail when I saw her. I saw that.
And then cut back to the rest of the team just booking ass through the woods. God damn it, no. And then back to...
Shut up, Buck!
But I saw that girl, that very little girl. What a little girl she was. And she was married to Sasquatch. I wonder why she didn't survive the Sasquatch's wedding night. Let's think about that now.
And then so Buck finally does. He finally gets to the red shed. They do not beat that clock in time. He has fully invented the little girl again. He's brought her back into their lives. And he's back at the red shed, and he looks at this shed that they've visited, I don't know what we've established, like 4 times now, and that has taken over half the show. And he looks at that shed and he says, "It's just something significant to this shed."
That was my quote of the episode.
Sorry.
But also, here's the thing. This is obvious what I'm about to say. Each time they come back to the red shed, it's on the premise that the last time we were here, we missed something. So last time they came back, found there was a message written on the back. Listeners, if you don't watch this show, when we say shed, you might be picturing a very large building intended to hold like tractors. This is not big enough to stand up in. Buck
this is like
sits
Snoopy's jet fighter.
when Buck sits on the inside of it, without being mean, Sean, what percentage of the volume of the red shed would you say the Buck is displacing?
Without being mean.
214%.
All right, that's accurate.
It's big enough. Like when the team is going to crowd in here later, they barely fit. Like 4 guys can't fit in this. It's a tiny thing. So they keep doing these things like, last time we were here, we missed something. It's like, okay, if you had spent, I'd say 7 to 8 minutes examining this shed, you would know every possible thing.
Every square inch.
And so here, the plot point is that there's like a loose board that he's going to discover. Spoiler. It leads him to a message, but the whole point is that it was here the whole time. This is ancient. We missed it. And again, if the premise is we've got this place we keep coming back to, like the Metroid style, because we keep unlocking another aspect of it. It's like, find a big old church or something where you could plausibly say, okay, last time we were here, we didn't know to shine a black light on the... Well, you wouldn't want to shine one of those in this shack.
No, not in that shack.
But something that would be a reason like this wasn't visible before, where again, this once again is, well, this board here was loose. We didn't really look under this board last time. It's like, it's one of 6 boards in the shed.
Yeah.
And do remember, it does make an appearance in the Sons of Appalachia spin-off show. So they're not done. They still haven't found everything, the shed, this 6x6 shed in which you would store a lawnmower and nothing else.
It's hard to find an authentic ancient Cherokee doghouse. So, I mean, you're going to keep coming back to that location.
It's just, they've invented so much mythology for this pervert Jack Shack. It's for Buck to stand in it and say there's something significant to this. It's like going to Egypt and visiting the pyramids now and looking at it for a long time and going, I think these mean something.
No, it's like going, I don't think those rocks landed that way by coincidence.
Huh.
I think somebody
maybe there's
stacked them.
something-
I think somebody stacked them like that to make that into a pyramid shape. I don't think that's just.
There's something else. When he says we're missing something, my notes say, yeah, dickhead, the thing 6 steps to the west of the F might be what you fucking missing. Like, go back to, if you have time to go back to the red shed, maybe go back to the finale of the puzzle video you just got.
They will eventually have this idea.
Let me point out, because I know I point this out every time the red shed makes an appearance. The red shed has electric lights that are on inside of it. So again, it's on somebody's property. It has a power line coming to it. Somebody's paying the bill, the electric bill, for the mystical, this thing they're treating as this ancient temple of mystery. It's on somebody's.
We've never knocked on his door. Go knock on his door and be like, hey, you pay the rent on that. Does, by any chance, do you sublet to like a Cherokee Child Bride ghost? You know what I'm talking about? Like when you go to get your lawnmower, do you have to push her aside a little bit?
Also, is that rock with the waterfall? Is that on your property too? Because do you have any rules about what people can do on your property? Are you real strict about how? Like if somebody just happened to walk across, it'd be okay if we just cut across. If we just, like maybe if we stop there briefly, that would be.
And funny question, you don't own a Bigfoot suit, do you? Okay, so God, where are we? All right, just as he's reflecting on Buck is sitting in the middle of this shed, looking like a toddler, reflecting on all this, and there's a bang on the cabin wall, and he freaks out. He demands total silence, and he hears talking out in the woods, and it's a female voice, and you think, okay, I know where this is going,
Yes.
right? And then he says,
You do not.
Mom?
That is a crazy plot twist. If his mom is at the Cherokee Child Bride.
Mom, did you come to the pervert Jack Shack at night again? Mom, we've talked about this.
I laughed so fucking hard when he asked the Woods' mom.
He says like, it don't make any sense. She wouldn't be out here.
But
true.
he does. He says that sounds
getting
like
to the
my
bottom of it.
mom, and then he runs out into the woods, presumably to go get his mom. Like instantly, he's forgotten everything. He's forgotten like the psychic. Oh, it's the psychic Cherokee devil who can play mind trips. He's forgotten about the Raven Mocker, whose power this actually is.
These are not mind tricks because I heard it too. It was on the fucking film. The audio
it was
guy
on the
picked it up.
audio. So I guess it has to be the Raven Mocker. They got him confused with the Raven Mocker, who can imitate the voices.
Or one of the 6 skinwalkers they've dealt with that can turn into anything, including Buck's mom, presumably. I mean, it's a skinwalker. It can
Could
be
just be his
whatever it wants
mom.
to be.
And
Could
she
just be
tells
his
him,
mom.
the funniest thing you could say when something is in the woods pretending to be your mom coming to a pervert hillbilly Jack Shack at night, she says, your dad is here too. Fucking burn
Right.
from Bigfoot. Everybody on the crew going, oh.
How does she know I have a dad? Oh, this has to be really her.
He only falls for it, like, I want to say 8 times and starts crying before deciding,
Yeah, starts
no,
crying.
this might be a Bigfoot trick. He does fall for it over and over again, though, until finally a raspy voice says Jacob, his real name, and he pretends to see the cloaked figure over by the shed, and they run away.
And he screams and runs away.
Screams and
in
runs
terror.
away at zeros of miles an hour. And then he gets, 25 feet away, and he's like, asks the camera guy, did you see that? Because, of course, you're safe when you get 25 feet away from the monster in your mother's form.
Well, and then he says, show your face, you dirty sucker. I'll blow it off.
He
I'm
makes
done.
a little stand after like this panicky
After he
flailing
flees.
run.
After he
flees.
and then in true Schwarzenegger fashion, he sprints away screaming in terror and then does his badass one-liner at a safe distance.
So lucky I'm a coward, you son of a bitch.
What is the very next line? Almost in the same breath after he says, show your dirty face, sucker. I'll shoot it off. I'm done.
I think it's, I can't do this no more. I'm done.
No, he says,
I'm done.
come on. He says, "Come on, we got to keep moving," and then they continue running away.
Yes. The rest of the team is on their way. They're like, we got to get to Buck before he fucking does any pervert shit. And they find some broken limbs, and they're like, I think we're on the right path. I'm like, yeah, dude. You're going to the red shed where you've been many times.
But also take a drink. That's now part of the they're now part of the team that is hunting another part of the team, and they find buck sign. They're even like, look, the boot prints. That dirt's been all kicked up around that log. He's been through here.
I got spore. Yep, it's bucks.
Well, that takes a little bite. That's a lot of Taco Bell, brother.
So,
oh God,
we do cut back to the moment Sean was talking about. After Buck has declared he's done and he's ready to fight, we cut back to Buck and he says, "I'm done," in like a totally different way, and he's gonna quit. He's gonna quit Bigfoot hunting altogether. He says, "Chalk another one up to the red shed."
I have that in my notes.
Building
I thought,
beat me.
Why do I have that in quotes? That's something I said, right? No,
that's a mean joke we made, isn't it?
Nope. Word for word what he says. And then the camera guy starts to follow him and he stops him and he says, "No, I'm done as in done. You can do whatever you want. You can go back to the red shed. You can get killed by a Bigfoot. You can marry a child bride. Who gives a shit? I'm leaving. You stay here." And then he walks off alone into the woods, dramatically doing his like, I'm going to walk off into the sunset moment. And then he trips over a branch and eats shit completely flat, gets up, grabs the branch like he's going to do something angry with the branch, decides the branch is stronger than him. He can't move the branch after all. So he just sadly gets back up and continues walking. And the editors left every fucking second of it in.
Him falling down serves no story purpose. It only
ruins that
completely ruins the drama of the moment, because this is Buck quitting the show Mountain Monsters. He told his cameraman, don't follow me. I'm abandoning you to be eaten by the Cherokee Devil. You're not my problem anymore. In Trapper's memory, I am abandoning this hunt and going home and getting a different job. I am fleeing. I'm abandoning this entire mission. I'm leaving the team behind. I'm done. Don't even film me. I'm not even on this TV show anymore. You legally can't keep filming me. Walks bravely into the woods and just
right over.
And it was real.
And it was real.
Fall.
And gets up clearly, like, visibly annoyed at the stick that tripped him, because this is not like he doesn't know he's still being filmed. Like, this obviously won't be in the show. And the editors and the camera crew's like, oh, this is all going in.
It's all in the show, baby. He grabs the branch and he starts to shake it like he's going to save the moment by picking it up out of the ground and throwing it. And then he just has to be like, nope, not strong enough.
It's so funny when someone trips and they like do some like a theatrical investigation of the thing that tripped them, as if like there's any face to be saved in that way. We all do it. It's just rare to have the timing be so embarrassing. But to recap, he really thought his mom was in the Bigfoot shed. He got very scared. He gave up. He got very scared again. He gave up again. And then he fell down. Then he made a fool of himself. I mean, he's our greatest hero, I think.
He's the leader of the team,
Yeah.
by the way. He was the one who picked up the baton from Trapper. That was the whole point. So it's like, I don't know, I guess Wild Bill's in charge now. I don't know, whoever's after me. But
what
then
a better team this would be.
We cut back to the other team who's still hunting Buck, and you get the moment where it's Will's like, look at those leaves. And I swore they were going to be like, he really fell down here. It's like a crater.
I think it might be hurt.
You could see here how he was pouting, and then he fell down like a big fucking idiot. And then he's really pouting. You could tell by this buck sign.
The tears of failure, and it just is dragging his feet like a man defeated, like a man who has been cucked by a Bigfoot
and a piece of wood. In that order.
Defeated by just a piece of wood on the ground in the woods where they're supposed to be, and this expert world's greatest woodsman looked like me trying to walk through the woods.
And the way, okay, so then we come back to the rest of the team looking for Buck, and they look over and you see, I don't know, 5% of him in his own light as he's looking down, because he's got the little headlamp on his bandana, and he's just looking down at his own feet in sadness, and you can just see his little feet lit up. And that's how they find him. It's just with his little pouty feet lit up. And they're like, I think that's Buck. And they start to run over to him, and he says, "Stop. Don't come down here. I'm mad. Like, I'm mad. I'm pouting down here."
That's right.
He needs to get taken home from the sleepover.
You thought that was the lowest he could go, what we just described. He did not stomp off to his truck and drive away. At some point, he got so scared or mad or depressed or just tired, he just sat down like a toddler in the mud and just sat there.
In full toddler pose, I need to emphasize he's got the legs sticking like straight out, not bent at the knees, just splayed out in front of him, hands in his lap, and like just kind of bent over and moping, like you would expect to find like your kid covered in Lunchable crumbs, mad that the mailman doesn't remember their name, or some like toddler tantrum. You're just like, "What are you mad about?" And they're like, "Your mailman doesn't remember me." Like, oh, I don't know.
Because when the rest of his team, the greatest monster hunters in the world, find him, you're like, "No, I didn't want to talk, Huck." Like, I'm just imagining that scene in the film Predator. Like, if one of them goes off on his own and they find him, it's like Carl Weathers just sitting there in the leaves, like, "No, I'm too upset.
Guys.
I'm too scared. I'm too scared of the Predator from this film we're in, the hit film Predator."
I don't want to fight the Predator anymore. All right.
We ain't got time to pout. That's what Jesse the Body would say.
So, I mean,
Come on, Carl Weathers. Cheer up, Carl Weathers.
The Predator knows who you are, Carl Weathers. He knows your name. I mean, that works. They don't like talk him. They don't talk him out of it. They're not like, "Buck up, we got to finish this hunt." They're like, "All right, let's just go home. You're not having a good time."
Yeah.
It's 6 o'clock at Disneyland. Like, let's go home.
It's
tired.
a good night of monster hunting.
Yeah, definitely don't go back to that rock and see what's 4 feet away from where we were standing earlier.
They can't because Buck's too sad.
Buck's too sad. Again, Huckleberry has recovered from his pneumonia and hypothermia and his thin blood.
Totally fine.
He's totally fine now, so he's good to go. Like, nah, it's Buck's too sad. Gotta get back to the hotel.
Yeah. He's a little grouchy and covered in pee, but he's like in the hunt.
So the next day they meet up with Buck. He's still moping, all alone, looking in his lap, sitting by a fire. And he explains how he heard his mom's voice last night to the rest of the team. And his mom's not dead. They're not dead. She didn't like make him revisit his painful childhood memories. She wasn't screaming in pain from hell. She just basically said, "Hey, what's up?" And that's his emotional trauma.
This professional monster and ghost hunter who has hunted many supernatural beings, but also they find him by Huckleberry's campfire. Remember previously when Huckleberry got too sad and they in the truck on the way here, and they had to pull over because he was too sad, and then the next morning they found him. He's sitting by a campfire just poking it with a stick, and then had to explain like,
fire.
"Well,
Yeah, it's a mountain fire.
yeah.
It's not Huckleberry's fire. It's just where you go when you're sad about Bigfoot."
He is sitting in the exact same spot, with the exact same fire, in the exact same pose for the exact same reason. They just repeat this exact story beat word for word, where it's like, "Well, now I know last night you got too sad and refused to talk to anybody. So yeah, I came here to poke the fire a little bit. And now I'm ready to talk about the weirdly like psychosexual thing that the Cherokee Devil did to me. And then tomorrow night, Wild Bill, it'll be your turn. We'll each have a chance to poke the sadness fire."
You're right, though. The show's not about Bigfoot monsters anymore. It's about the real monsters. Anxiety and self-doubt.
Parental trauma, man. That's the real Bigfoot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, okay, so Buck decides in this conversation they have about what happened, Buck decides that it's the Cherokee Devil must be another skinwalker, and it's the guy in the cloak, right, that they saw. It's the same thing. Only this one, and maybe by extension all of them, can turn into anybody's parents at any time. And they all agree not only is that accurate, but it's a very serious escalation. So far, the only evidence we have of that is them making the voice. Because aside from that, they've just turned into like beasts. They're just like, they just morph into beasts. That's their toy line. They don't morph into parents until now. Now they can all morph into parents at any time. And they decide that he does this, the Cherokee Devil did this, because he didn't want them to get to the red shed. Because there's just something... I don't know. There's something about that red shed. There's got to be some significance to it.
Yeah. Or as one of them says, it showed up for a reason.
So Buck says, this time I'm mad. And like we didn't see your little tantrum in the woods. We know you're mad.
With like
Huckleberry
little
says,
baby tears in his eyes. He's like, after last night, I'm mad. After, I think it's the quote was, after what this thing did to me, nuh-uh.
The way I wrote it down was, after last night, I'm mad. I don't know if any of us have, if we can get the sound clip, he says it in a very, very funny way. He says it in a way that if you were trying to make fun of him, if you're trying to make fun of the way he said it, the meanest possible way you would say it, in a way that's like not acceptable anymore in this era, that's how he said it.
Yeah.
Huckleberry tries to reframe that for him and say, we all got to get mad. Huckleberry says, it's time to get mad dog mad. I like shooting for that sizzle reel line. Didn't make it into the sizzle reel with that one. But they are all fired up to really go after this Bigfoot, which I guess was the problem before. Just their hearts weren't in it. They get back into the woods. And they decide they need to do both things. They need to get back to the rock overhang and the red shed at the same time, right? So they're gonna
Reverse
split
pincer.
up. Yeah,
Do the pincer at the only two locations they feel like going to in this place.
Right?
So it's Willie and Wild Bill that will go to the rock. It's Huckleberry, Jeff, and Buck that will go to the shed and investigate.
Right. Because they do remember that they need to go 6 steps from the F.
Yes,
Yeah,
they do
they still
remember
have
You
that.
know, the
that.
rogue team watching them, rogue team number 9 or whatever number we're on, had to have been like settling bets when they finally heard that, like, oh, they are going back there. You owe me $20. I told you they'd remember.
But as Buck explains, they have to be there simultaneously. They can't
Yes.
all go to one location and then all go to the other. Obviously, that wouldn't work
Obviously.
for
that would work.
reasons we don't even have to explain.
Oh, when it comes together, though, you'll be like, this is
Specifically.
TV magic.
No, hold on. We do need to establish this. Specifically, they decided, okay, the figure in the black cloak and the Cherokee Devil are one and the same. It's a skinwalker turning into the Cherokee Devil, or vice versa. Cherokee Devil just turning into a goth, seeing what it's like to be goth. So the strategy is he's foiled them when they've independently gone to each place as a whole team. So now they have to split up and go he can't be in 2 places at once. So one of the teams will succeed.
Okay, I gotcha.
And that's very important that there's only one of these things. We've actually decided only one of these things here. It looks like 2 things. It's not. That's its weakness. So we're gonna split it up. It's gonna have to pick its battles, and we'll get away with something. So just remember that. It's a good strategy.
There's no way you guys noticed this, but they did wait for night, because that's smart. You always want to wait for night when you're doing stuff like this. And their plan is to sneak in so no one can see them, because the Cherokee Devil cannot sense people with its mind. So they're going to sneak in without leaving any visual clues. Buck tells everyone to turn off their lights. He keeps his on because his is on dim. You probably didn't notice because it was...
I noticed because he said that out loud. So turn off all your lights. I'm going to keep mine on dim, which makes you invisible in the dark woods at night.
Invisible at night. If someone's shining a light at night and it's not on max, you're like, it's just pitch black because I can't see anything.
In the darkest woods, of course.
I want to bring our attention to something that I don't want to think about. And in fact, I shouldn't bring this up at all. But so the Cherokee Devil that 300 years ago married a Cherokee little girl, and then she didn't survive their wedding night. We're now saying that's actually a man who can shapeshift into a Sasquatch.
I see where you're going, and I'm going to
I don't-
desperately
I don't
course
see-
correct. Let's talk instead. Let's talk instead.
I want to hear
of
you say
that
it.
thing. Let's don't burn down the world. Come on now, hold on. We still want to have a podcast in a little bit. So instead of talking about what that all means, let's talk about how it's part of the plan that when Willie and Wild Bill get to the rock overhang this time, they have to rappel down it, even though it's only about 15 feet high. So that's a funny thing to rappel down. And you can just walk up to it.
But no, Robert, you fool. It's because this will be silent.
Because this will be completely silent. This is the stealth mission.
If they try to walk up, they're going to be heard. Because again, the one thing we know about the Cherokee Devil, as Sean pointed out, it has no ability to detect when you're around. Unless you're like right up next to it. Like if you're trying to estimate how far out its detection powers go, who could even say? They've certainly never brought that up. So no, they have to go in quiet. And the quietest thing they can possibly do is rappel down that 15-foot of rock.
Now,
So this is,
if you
again,
do
this
that
is an overhang
quietly-
you cannot stand up in. I just want to point out, it's not a very tall overhang. They get to the top of it, and again, stealth mission. Willie screams, "Don't you lose your footing on this. You'll be nothing but a stain at the bottom." And
Don't think
I'm
it
saying
would
if you lowered
explode
yourself
you.
off of this, as an average height man, it would be like coming down off of like a 6-year-old's Nerf dunk. Like that's the drop you're really dropping. If you did this.
Well,
normal.
we don't have to have conjecture because we do see the entire experience of rappelling down it and how it lasts about 15 feet. So they do on their stealth rappelling mission. They do start it out by standing at the top of the cliff in a fully lit camera crew and screaming at one another.
It's great. Yeah, including doing the shouty interview to camera. We're here at the top of the rock, about to drop down. We have to go in stealth so it can't hear us.
I believe Wild Bill's exact quote was, "Me and Brother Willie, gonna work on down from top rock overhang, rappel down in stealth style. Ottoman surprise." And then he gets a little vaudeville.
Ottoman surprise.
Optimus surprise? I don't know what the fuck he said there at the end. I don't even have a guess.
Like the Ottoman Empire, I guess. He's just
I
a
guess like
history
the old
buff.
give him the old
This is-
Ottoman surprise. That could be a
This is how
thing.
the Ottomans invaded.
Might be a very racist saying
Yeah,
for all we know.
I
could be,
probably
yeah.
shouldn't have repeated that. Actually, I might be in some trouble. So Willie warns him, like, don't lose your footing on this. And then they hear a Bigfoot noise, and Willie disappears instantly, like, just gone after being like, you'll be a stain. And so they cut to commercial on this, and you're expecting him to be like, oh, there he is, because that's what they do every time. But they cut back, and Willie's hanging upside down from his rope. He's doing an actual stunt.
It's pretty good.
It's like 6 feet off the ground because they do correct him and then walk the 6 feet back down to the ground. And you're like, oh, okay. So it wasn't like it might have hurt some if you had fallen, but no, like it's amazing that they showed you the entire thing, like showed them all the way to them getting to the ground and taking off their harnesses. And you're like, oh, so it actually was not very high.
Again, they trusted the editors to make it look like a very long rappel down, which you could do. You could do with camera. You just don't pull back and show the whole thing. You keep it close, and you loop over and over again, them going down and show it. And you do a dissolve and make it look like they've spent half an hour doing this. Oh no, they just pull back and just show how that this. Yeah, they're just kind of gently.
The editors are so sick of it. Like, this is towards
So
the end of
mean.
season 6. Like, they've been doing this for so many years. It's got to be occurring to the editors that, like, I think I'm actually wasting my life doing this. I think I actually hate these men. I hate them for what they've done to me.
I can't believe this show keeps getting renewed. I thought it was going to be like one summer.
Are they going to renew it if I stop making these guys look good? Yes.
They don't care.
I had an
They
offer
don't
from that
watch the episodes?
Czechoslovakian porn company. I could be cutting naked ladies right now.
Jesus Christ.
So back at the other team, real quick, they're approaching the red shed, and Buck says, "You get close to it. Watch out. It will draw you in." the siren call of the hillbilly Jack Shack
finishes with, "There's something about this red shed."
There's just something about it. It's starting to turn into kind of a, I don't know. There's something about it. You know what I mean? Willie and Wild Bill get to the rock, and they take those 6 steps to find nothing. So they start digging like it might be Bigfoot treasure.
Jason, did you notice what they were digging with?
They didn't bring any shovels, so they're digging with the butts of their shotguns.
Oh, you said that wrong. Surely not the butts of their shotguns, so that the barrels are pointed at them?
They might as well have put their mouths around the barrels of these shotguns.
Just slamming it down, trying to dig into the rock, the solid rock.
It's less than what a monkey would do. Like, a monkey would at least realize that
a monkey would say, "We're going on a treasure hunt, bring a shovel."
Yeah, because it's not like, again, they didn't know this is what they were going to do when they got there. I mean, we keep saying the show is improv, but they at least have to know what stuff to bring. Like, it's not improv to the point that they didn't know where they were going. It's like, well, no, we're going to find the spot. And then knowing how pirate treasure works, yeah, you'd try to start digging in that spot.
Sure. They have repeatedly said, and indeed made it a point of pride of, like, you will never, they at one point said, you will never find a hunter in the woods worth anything without his knife. So in theory, they must have a knife on them. And their solution was dig with the butt of my gun.
Just bash the ground.
Bash the gun with the barrel pointed at my face. So Buck's team have made it to the red shed, and he explains, "Man, even with Huckleberry and Jeff here, I don't feel safe." Yeah, man, me neither.
I am just so scared all the time of everything. It's my defining personality trait.
And in fact, Huckleberry is like, "We have to go in that shed." And Buck says, "No, we don't. I was in there last night and nothing is out of place." Why'd you come back then? So first of all, we will learn very shortly that's not true. Something is very obviously invisibly out of place. Why did you come back? It was your idea to come back. You said you were mad that he impersonated your mom. And you're coming back and you're like, no, we don't have to get into it.
His exact words were, "Nuh-uh."
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
Willie and Wild Bill, meanwhile, back in the rock overhang, are still digging. And Willie gets really philosophical about the show and, by extension, his whole life when he says, "It's hard to find something when you don't know what you're looking for."
Pretty deep.
I feel like that's the last, 10 years of my life for some reason. I feel like I maybe need to tell a therapist that, or just like maybe God.
It's hard to trap something. It's hard to trap a dream when you don't know what the thing is you're pursuing. If you were trying to,
the thing they're looking for is not in the ground. It's just on the wall. Meaning that
it's
use the F as a marker.
Spot. They look up and there's it's been etched into
the wall says Jaluluj. It's like they're Cherokee letters, but like they're kind of English letters. Like it just looks like Delujba.
Yeah. So when we said that you could have looked the 6 steps over, you literally could have looked and seen on the rock there.
Impossible they didn't see this.
This giant word written there.
It was more visible than the initials for Huckleberry's mom and grandpa, which they featured prominently.
Maybe that's what some poor Cherokee carved there to keep themselves sane, as they showered over and over for Bigfoot.
That's some
what that
ancient
means.
mother that someone was chanting while Bigfoot watched and masturbated. I think that's the fiction they built.
I think that's what's happening canon in the show. So they do find the letters in the rock. Willie decides he's going to take a photo of it.
It's like telling someone how to get the Statue of Liberty by saying it's 4 steps to the right from the bus stop with the number 11. This is far more visible than the F, which is under some leaves on a rock.
Yes. If you had just said, look for the letters on the wall of the rock. Look for the letters on the rock, or the writing on the rock. They would just look around like, oh, it would have been within 5 minutes. Okay. A normal group of people, within 5 minutes, they would have spotted, because it's plainly visible. It's large writing.
So Willie decides to take a photo of it, and Wild Bill very disdainfully says, "Monster chasing with technology?"
Okay.
On his TV show.
He takes a photo of it with what kind of a device does he use to take a photo of it?
We don't have a name for it.
With his phone, with his iPhone 11 that he has with him, that canonically everyone has with them. But you're saying, well, Jason, but that's just because Willie has a phone. You don't know that Buck has one. That in the previous episode, when the entire plot revolved around the fact that they could not contact each other, or it's not previous episode, it was this one. Time is a blur for me when watching this. Like, just because Willie has an iPhone doesn't mean that Buck has one. Maybe he's not a phone guy. Maybe he doesn't have it with him on this mission. You're right. I'm being too critical. I'm
I like the Wild Bill just like, did you just take a picture? Get off your phone. Live in the moment, man.
He knows it's wrong. He can't put his finger on it, but he's like, no, I feel like this shatters the fucking reality we're trying to build.
Yeah,
what you can just pull out your phone. You could just look up what those letters mean right now. We could solve this whole mystery.
We would have pulled out our phones and gotten pictures of the Cherokee Death Cat's nest. That would have been something cool to have photos of.
We've seen them so many times. You're right. He's right. His instincts are right. This does kind of ruin everything. But they hear a noise outside the cave. They decide they need to run out of there. And then as they're scampering back up the hill, which you had to rappel down because it was so dangerous, they just scamper right back up it. No problem. Willie pauses, just freezes all of a sudden mid-run. And he looks to the sky and he says, "What the hell was that writing on the ceiling?" And then he goes right back to running. It's so fucking weird. It's so fucking weird that he did that.
He's just trying it out. He's like, we need more drama in the show. And he's like, all right, I got you.
He said it so strange. It was such a strange thing to do. Like, it feels like a producer note that he was like, no, I'm not going to do that, you asshole. And then he lost the argument and he's like, okay, here's how it's going to look. So the other team, they're in the shed. They're in the red shed. They're in the Hillbilly Jack Shack. And Huckleberry wonders, once again, what the significance of this shed might be as they're in it looking for clues. Buck points out that the only thing different about the shed now, and we've already spoiled it, it's a suspicious giant busted floorboard. The only thing sticking out in the shed. And he did say he checked the shed out, nothing was different. But here it is.
Prior to that, and I want you to imagine Hillbilly Jigsaw watching this as Buck says, this shed being in the film we were shown in the Dark Forest, it can't be a coincidence.
Again, he's just like revolver in his mouth waiting. I'm just waiting for the moment. I'm waiting for the moment you're going to give me to escape this life. So Buck does point out, well, something's different about that board, but he hasn't solved the mystery of maybe I should look at the board. He's just wondering. He's just wondering idly over and over again about what the board might be. And then there's a bang on the cabin walls. So apparently it can be in two places at once. They all decide they need to leave the shed. Still haven't investigated the board. Buck hops on his radio to ask Willie and Wild Bill to come back. And it's sort of, this is all, I would give them credit. It's almost a learning moment. For a while now, they've had this in their plans where there's an abort scenario built in, right? You know, the other team's going to go do something, and then we're gonna get in trouble, and they have to call them back. At least this time, they did accomplish one thing. I have to give them that. This other team got that word. So, like, at the very least, that's something that this team hasn't accomplished. Like, they have different goals. So, like, Team A in the red shed has to accomplish something different, right? And then Team B will accomplish something.
It's the other half of the puzzle. It's going to be the other half of the other half of the word. You merge them together, and it's going to form like some sort of a summoning spell. We've done this before. You've played Resident Evil. You've got half of the amulet, and you got to find the other half, and they're going to fit together and rotate it into a. It'll be cool.
It's going to be awesome.
Got to rotate the word around.
They've not gotten to the cool part yet.
But they've found their half of the puzzle, is all I'm saying. Like, the two teams split up to do something, and they're doing it. They found their half of the puzzle. Now the team in the red shed has to find their half of the puzzle, and then we'll put it all together. And I will say, they're learning. They've learned a little bit of something. I try to give them credit where they have it due. Buck points out that every time he steps in that shed, something happens, almost like something doesn't want them in that shed. Almost like the shed might have some kind of significance.
He says it more like this. He says, every time I go in that shed, something bad happens. It's more of his tone.
Yeah, because I feel like in the course of this sequence, he runs screaming out of the shed 3 or 4 times before finally resolving, wait a second, every time I go in there, the thing growls at me, I pee my pants and come sprinting out of there. There's a
Maybe
pattern.
that's what it wants.
Right.
I bet it doesn't want me in there. I wonder if there's something to be found in that red shed.
Okay,
Oh
so
my
now
God, I think you're right.
They're surrounded on all sides by crazy angry Bigfoot noises everywhere. Hundreds
Just
of big feet
rustling in every direction.
have come from
Swarming
all
them.
over to swarm them. So I guess it wasn't just one thing like we've established. It was thousands of big feet. And so Buck decides he does need to get back in there and look at that board after all, even though here's his hero's journey. He really doesn't want to. So he's going to overcome that obstacle of not wanting to go in and look at the board and go look at the board. And he real quick says, Wild Bill, cover me. And Wild Bill screams, take no prisoners, and runs away into the woods.
No, he goes leaping out of frame. He says, take no prisoners. It just flies vertically out of the frame and lands somewhere in the forest.
So first of all, real quick, that's not what covering is.
No, he leaves.
Not even close.
He launches
gun
himself
away.
He screams, buy me time, guys. And then they just don't do anything. They just stand there watching
Because
the woods.
What can they do?
Because what?
And
Shoot,
the whole time,
I guess.
they're shouting like, well, we don't know. We can get you any time, Buck. We're running. It's like, I mean, this stuff's growling at you, but I don't know. It seems like it's kind of helpless to stop you, or else it would have come and done something by now. It seems like it's kind of just making noise.
But the covering works. They're like complaining about how there's stuff in the woods.
It doesn't work.
No, they didn't kill Buck. It's he's like, guys, I've got something, and he's brushing it off, and he's got the same word, loop, and he's like dusting, like getting every little speck of dust off, while his friends are being killed by this skinwalker tornado outside.
Huckleberry even has to come and lean in the shed and be like, "Are you still fucking doing that?
Just
Are
take
you still
a fucking
dusting
picture
the
of
word
it.
off?"
But they're counting monsters. They're doing that thing that they're doing a show of like, oh, a monster's there. But they're like, ooh, there's one there. And there's 2 there. And, oh, I see 3 monsters here. It is maybe the most childlike they've ever been with this exact trope.
Never describe the monsters, never specify what exactly they are. They don't say these are a bunch of big feet. They don't say that they're skinwalkers or they're men in cloaks. It's just hundreds.
Why are there thousands? Where did they come from? They invented a literal Bigfoot army that laid siege to this. And then he asked Wild Bill to cover them, and Wild Bill said, take no prisoners. He's not going to take any Bigfoot prisoners.
Yeah,
he was going to do that. That's what he was going to do before. But
are we going to put a Bigfoot in a trap?
yeah, I feel like your whole life
Ridiculous.
has not been taking Bigfoot prisoners. You're like the best
That should
guy
be your
at that.
slogan. We
don't
do
take
not
any-
imprison big feet.
So Huckleberry says something crazy to get Buck to move. He says, Buck, we got to get out of here. We didn't come for a confrontation. Yeah, your last line before you went on this hunt was, let's get Mad Dog mad. This is personal. We're going to come out here and kill all these big feet. But anyway, Buck finally takes the picture of the word. And so they can
What
get
does he
out
use
of
to
there.
take the picture?
Also his phone.
His
don't have a
iPhone.
word for
Yeah,
it.
his iPhone that he's had with him the whole time, including earlier when everybody claimed they couldn't get hold of him.
Yep. Couldn't get a hold of him. Even though specifically in this area we've established it does have cell service. Like canonically, this is one of the areas we know does have cell service. So they're getting out of there. They're going full dog soldiers, surrounded on every side by thousands of big feet. They get, and they say this. I don't say this. They say this. They say, we're 200 yards away from the shack.
All right.
It's time to stop.
They show them, they get 15 feet tops. And then they say, as soon as we get about 200 yards away from that shed. So they're off by a lot. And yeah, they're just
but
like,
it's still
fuck, we're
funny
safe.
that their goal of what they lied about, that we got 200 yards away, it's only 600 feet, and the entire Bigfoot army is like, that's enough.
That's too
You're
far.
fine. You're fine now.
They're tired from making the tornado.
The footnado? Yes. So Wild Bill says, those things were more athletic than Jackie Chan, to a brief, confused and bewildered silence. Buck just says, yeah. And then Huckleberry says, how many of them were they? And Wild Bill says, well, there's just one Jackie Chan. Masterpiece. They don't deserve
Masterpiece.
They don't deserve it.
Just let it hang there.
They let the dead silence hang there because, again, they wanted their death-defying escape moment. And yeah, you're right. When I say the phrase Wild Bill is wasted on this show, I realize that has dual meaning. In this case, I'm saying they don't appreciate what he brings.
Yep.
And that was so good. That was such a good, like, what a classic routine. And you gave him nothing.
Yeah. They're like, we're not at the joke yet. We need to do a Resident Evil puzzle. Because remember, the two words are going to come together to like overlay to spell something.
So they do. They finally, like, it takes them a long time to figure out that maybe we should take our pictures out. And like, in fact, Buck is explaining that, like, I took a picture of the writing, and Willie, he like pauses because it's Willie's time to join in. Willie just gives him a blank face, and it's Buck who has to say, didn't you guys get a picture of writing too? To which Willie's like, oh, right. So they get out their phones to compare pictures, and I swear to God, it takes them a full 30 seconds of silence looking back and forth between the phones to realize they've both taken a picture of the same word. It's not a puzzle, so they didn't get two pieces. They got two of the same pieces to the puzzle. If this is the Resident Evil puzzle, they got two red jewels. There was a duplicate. And they're like, well, this doesn't help me.
The other one, yeah, you don't even need to keep it in the inventory. You can't sell it or anything. Just throw it on the ground.
I shouldn't have a second one.
We
of
just had
these.
that one there in case you didn't find the other one or something. This made me angry. Why did this make me so angry? Because they have a writer now. Why was it not two halves of... Did they forget, or was there a miscommunication? Because it being, oh, they also wrote the word there also. So we didn't actually, we could have just went to one or the other. It would have.
Yeah, or the other.
It's 6 letters. Most of them are from the English alphabet that you'd recognize. There's a couple weird ones, I guess. But to not immediately recognize that as the same thing, the same sacred artifact you just uncovered moments ago, I know these guys are stupid. I know in the fiction these guys are stupid. No one is stupid enough to play this dumb. And I want to. This is going to be my quote of the episode because I did take down all their dialogue here.
That was the episode. That's it.
That's the end.
Yeah,
We cut credits.
that's how we end it.
They both took a picture of the same word, and instead of being like, "Oh, we fucked up," they're like, "Oh my god."
What?
So
Buck
let's do the
says-
quotes. Sean, go ahead.
All right. Buck says, "Wait a second. That's the same thing." And then the music goes, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then he goes, "Look, right there. It matches up perfect." And then Wild Bill says, "It looks like twinsies." And then Buck says, "That's the same writing." And then they all look at each other and just gape. And then Willie finally says, "What the hell does that mean?"
Okay. I'm going to do something unprecedented here. Because when I'm taking, the way I do this, I watch these episodes and I take my notes because I've transcribed basically the whole thing and I'm trying to organize it to figure out who said what and what it means. It takes several days. But while I'm doing that, the next episode, just because of the nature of HBO Max, it just auto plays the next episode. Sometimes I'll look up and be like, what the hell? They got a helicopter now? Because it'll just keep going because it takes a long time. In this case, It was continuing to play while I was typing up my notes, and it played the opening scene of the next episode. And I am going to spoil something for the viewers out there, because this made me physically angry, and I need to cope with it. I need you to share this with me. Okay. Remember what happened here. They went to the big overhanging rock. They took the 6 steps to the west, and they saw a spot, and they decided they're going to start digging, but that was incorrect. They finally looked directly above that spot. It's like, oh crap, there's a Cherokee word up there. And so, okay, okay. Knowing that, in you guys' opinion, and neither of you have watched ahead, correct? Okay, what would be the dumbest possible thing for that word to mean, knowing what we know about how they found it? What's the one? Because there's one answer. There's one dumbest thing for it to mean.
Cuck.
It means look under and dig.
Holy fucking shit.
And they didn't.
And this is not played as a joke. They should have just kept digging if they had brought tools to dig with. That means that word, that Cherokee word, means underneath, like this is marking the spot to dig. So if they had not spotted that, and if they just kept digging, they would have found, again, the Bigfoot treasure or whatever. They'll
never get what's ever under there. It takes them like a full episode took 2 episodes just to get there and look at it. By the time they get the one shovel scoop out, they will have been attacked by so many druids and big feet.
There's only
absurd.
1 episode left. I'm really scared that at the end of the season finale and at the end of Trapper's life, they will not have dug up this thing. I didn't watch any more of the episode because I turned it off in a rage.
That's fucking...
You know what that means,
That's
though?
so stupid.
We're going back to the red shed. We gotta go back again. We gotta go dig it up. We're going back. Go back, baby. All right, I'll end on my quote of the episode. It's not as good as that. It's not gonna beat that. It's from the section where Buck is moping by the fire, and they all decide they're doing the pre-battle speech. And Huckleberry says shit like, well, Buck says shit like they impersonated my mom this time. It's personal, and then you're gonna do that to me, Bigfoot? No. And Huckleberry says shit like, let's get mad and go back out there. And everybody's screaming, and they're just yelling manly shit over one another while they roll up out of there. And then very quietly, as they leave, the very last thing that's said, you can just hear one of Wild Bill's things that he was supposed to be lost in the scream of manly things, but stands quietly on its own. And what he says is, kick him right in the ass. That's what he had to add.
My quote of the episode, instead of, because we've covered all of my quotes of the episode, I'm going to take this quote that comes from the Sons of Appalachia YouTube page, where they have a text section. I don't know if you use YouTube enough to know that on your page you can do like Twitter posts. And Buck likes to come in and occasionally update people. It's like, a new episode coming this Friday. So the most recent post from on there was, Buck says, sadly, it looks like we will be going back to having no comments on future episodes. Some people should be ashamed of themselves. Like we have said many times, this is a safe space for our fans, and there are folks with disabilities and children that watch our content.
They watch Huckleberry take a shower in front of a masturbating Bigfoot? That was for kids?